everyone. Welcome to the webinar session. My name is Brian. I'm an admissions counselor here for George Washington University, and I'm also joined by Allison.
Hi, everybody.
All right, so we're going to get started in a little bit. Just a quick reminder to everyone to hold your questions until after the presentation. There will be a question and answer pod where we'll take some time to answer any questions that you have about the program and the admissions process. So let's go ahead and get started into the presentation. So today we're going to cover some information about the history of the School of Public Health in George Washington University, the admissions requirements, information about our online virtual platform, and then information on how to apply, and also some information on financial aid. So let's go ahead and get started. So as you can see here, we're on the School of Public Health and history of the School of Public Health. So we were established, as you can see here, in 1997. Really, the program, we really focus on local, global, and national health practices. So we're really approaching the field of public health through an interdisciplinary approach. The School of Public Health is a part of the Association of Schools of Public Health, and then we also are CEEF accredited, which is the Council on Education for Public Health. As many of you may know, we are located in Washington, D.C., so when it comes to partnerships with governmental agencies, non-for-profits, also non-governmental and local agencies as well, we have a great relationship and many different partnerships with a number of organizations, not only located in the DC metro area, but certainly nationally and internationally as well. In terms of our faculty members, the faculty members really truly are experts in their field. They really do take a more hands-on, just like with the program, they do take a hands-on approach to the field of public health. Additionally, in terms of the program and courses specifically, each faculty member is required to hold office hours. So you're able to meet with your professors outside of the class. If you have any additional questions or concerns, you're able to meet with them, maybe make up a class that you might particularly miss, or again, ask some questions that you might have about a particular assignment or a topic within that course. In terms of the web-based learning platform, students will have 24/7 access to our virtual campus, which is called 2GW. So through this site, which Allison's going to talk about in a little bit, you're going to have access to all of your course materials, be able to communicate with all of your classmates as well as your professors, access assignments, submit assignments, and then also attend your classes. So each class of ours on the online platform is delivered live, face-to-face, just like we're interacting today. So you're able to see and interact with everyone in the class, including the professor, live and in real time. So next we're going to cover on this slide just a brief overview of the MPH at GW platform. So again, like I mentioned earlier, our program is really taking more of an interdisciplinary approach to the field of public health, and we're really touching base on a local, global, and national basis in terms of health practices. So when it comes to the rigor of the program, the online program is just as rigorous as our brick and mortar on-campus program. The curriculum and coursework is very much similar to that of our on-campus program. The faculty members that are teaching and instructing the classes are the same faculty members that are teaching on campus. There are no teachers' assistants or anything like that. These are the professors teaching in their specialty or field within public health. And of course the degree as well. There's no difference between the degree. It doesn't distinguish between whether a student was online or on campus. So in terms of the mission ultimately and sort of an overview of the MPH at GW in general, we're really looking for individuals that want to take a hands-on approach. We're looking for individuals who want to make a difference and an impact in the field of public health. We're really looking for individuals who want to be the change agents, whether it's from a health promotion or disease prevention standpoint as well. So that gives you sort of a brief overview of the program from that perspective. Now, to sort of dive in from a curriculum standpoint and the courses that we're offering, the program can be completed in as little as 2 years. Each year is broken down into 4 modules. Each module is 10 weeks long, and then you'll have a 2-week break, 2.5 week break in between. So the first half of the program, students will be taking what's called their core curriculum classes, and these are really meant to provide students with a solid foundation, a solid overview in terms of the field of public health. And then as you move into the second half of the program, students are going to take what's called your program-specific and course electives. So course electives, which I'm going to discuss a little bit on one of the next slides, is we have 4 different focus areas. So we have a focus in health communication, public health care and health policy, program planning and evaluation, and then global health. One thing to keep in mind, particularly with the electives, is that it's not a solidified list. We're currently in the process of surveying our students to see what seems to be the common trends in terms of the field of public health, and so if we identify a particular focus or maybe particular electives that students are really interested in taking that might be offered on campus, and we have realized that a lot of students in the online program are interested in that particular field, we're definitely going to work to possibly build out and grow the list of electives that we're offering for our online students specifically. And then to go hand in hand with the program-specific and electives during the second half, students are also going to complete what's called their practicum and culminating experience. So practicum is very much similar to that of an internship. It can be completed either at a site that you're currently working at, if it's within the field of public health or public health related, or it could also be completed at a location of your choice. So if there is an organization relatively close to your area, we would ultimately reach out to that organization on your behalf and see if they are able to accommodate you. So we will take care of all of those initiatives and groundwork and being on the forefront to take care of all of those practicum situations and scheduling. And then, so really, again, in terms of the electives, they're really meant to provide you with that solid overview, solid focus within that field again. So this is just a quick list of the core curriculum courses that I was speaking about earlier. As you can see, there's a number of different courses here, some biostatistics classes, some environmental and occupational health courses as well. So again, the courses are really meant to provide you with a solid overview, solid foundation in terms of the field of public health. And then this, of course, is a list of our program-specific courses. Again, these courses will be blended in with the electives as well. And so you can see that you'll notice that there is a deep dive in terms of global health initiatives. You'll take some courses on healthcare, public health care, as well as community organization and development and advocacy. And then again, it's not listed here, but again, global health is our 4th elective and focus area that we're offering. And these are our 3 others: health communication, health policy, program planning, and evaluation. So now I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to my associate, Allison.
Okay, thanks, Brian. So today I'm going to talk to you about the practicum experience. So for this program, we have decided that it's just as important to gain that fieldwork experience in public health. Just like you would in an on-campus program, it's very important to be able to get out there, learn from other people, professionals who are working in the public health field. So the practicum component of our program is in the 2nd year of the program. It's in Module 5, and it's 120 hours of field work at your practicum site of choice. Now you may be wondering, well, does that mean I have to travel? Not necessarily. Video is not clear sound. Hopefully you guys can hear us. Can you guys hear us? Okay, hope so. The practicum, like I said, it's 120 hours of field work based on where you live and what you're interested in. So it's supposed to be a planned, supervised, and evaluated practice experience, and it is an essential component of a public health professional degree program. So we do consider this to be an essential part of our program and essential for the experience that you need and the knowledge that you need for after you have the master's degree. Some of the objectives of the practicum component are to develop those practical skills in the field, gaining knowledge from other professionals and hands-on experience in a public health setting of your choice. Again, to build that professional network for after the master's program is over, and then to connect your classroom experience with the real world setting, so that you can apply your knowledge that you've learned in the classroom to that real world out of classroom experience. So the practicum, you will be working with a preceptor for this component of the program, and they will help you determine. You will work with a preceptor to determine your practicum site of choice. So like I stated, it is 120 hours, and it can be where you're living. If you decide that you want to travel somewhere else to complete your practicum, that is okay as well. We have a list of over 750 approved practicum sites all over the country, in fact, all over the world. If you are going to travel for your practicum component, you just need to understand that it's going to be paid for, by you. It's going to be funded by you. But that definitely is something that's possible, and a lot of students do ask us, well, can I perform my practicum in another state or another country? And that is totally fine. What we would do in that situation is we would contact a supervisor in that practicum site of your choice, and we would get that accepted for you. So now I'm going to be talking about our virtual classroom. What we have done essentially for this program is we have integrated some of the social media sites, such as Facebook, Blackboard, and LinkedIn, into a program that we call our virtual campus. We nicknamed it 2GW, and it is a site that allows for some social networking on a professional basis, but also in the way that you would get on campus. So it's really important for a program, a master's program, to be able to build those professional and social networks and create relationships with people for after the program. So that's essentially what we've done with the virtual classroom. The virtual campus. And what you're looking at here is actually our login page. So everybody who is a student in the program will have a username and a password, and they'll be able to log in to that virtual campus and access all of the other students' information as well as their own information. The connections that you build in this program are definitely very vital for after the program is over. We definitely hold to the same quality and rigor as the on-campus program does, or as any on-campus program does. And for the online program, when you log in to the classroom, you will be able to see and speak with all of your classmates as well as your professor in a very interactive way, so that there is essentially no back row. Our class sizes are kept very small. They're usually no more than 12 students in a class, so that you can really establish those relationships and build that base that you need for after the program. So for each class in the virtual campus, there is, like I said, it is kind of like a social media site would be. So you have a wall, just like you would on Facebook, where you would be able to interact with other students, share different things. Instead of emailing all of the students in the class, you would be able to just post on the course wall, and you would be able to discuss class content and industry topics with all of your fellow classmates as well as your professor, again, in order to build that professional network with our virtual campus. We do have a component to the program that is kind of similar to a LinkedIn, and this is the social group page. The social group page allows you to go in and join different groups within the field of public health, depending on what you're specifically interested in pursuing. You could go in here and you can join different groups. You can email all the members of that group. You can invite other students to join the groups with you, and you can actually even create your own. So this, again, is for some networking on a social level, but also a little bit more professionally, because you're networking to build that connection with other students who are interested in what you're specifically interested in. So now I'm going to talk about some financial aid options that we offer here at GW. So as far as our applicant profile, what we are typically looking for in our ideal candidates for the program are an average GRE score of in the 60th percentile. All of our students must hold at minimum a bachelor's degree, and we're looking for students with a background of academic excellence. We do this in a number of ways. We have 5 or 6 application requirements that we consider when a student is up for review. And the average undergrad GPA at our program is a 3.4. Ideally, we are looking for about a 3.0, but the students can have a little bit lower than that because they are looked at as a complete package. Our program, we definitely have a variety of different backgrounds that students come from in our program. They come from, all different parts of the country as well as different parts of the world. And 45% of our student base are identified as minorities. 27% of our student base speak a foreign language. 13% have an international background, and then 15% hold an advanced degree, whether it be a master's degree or a doctorate or some kind of advanced degree. As far as our application requirements, the application process for our students typically takes anywhere between 2 weeks to a month to get all of the application requirements together. There are certain application requirements that take longer than others to come in, so we highly encourage students to start working on their applications as soon as they possibly can. And we'll talk more at the end about how you can reach out to an admissions counselor to have them help you with putting together an application for the program. But some of the application requirements that we have are an application that is right on our website, which is publichealthonline.gw.edu. You can get access to our online application. In addition to the online application, we require a statement of purpose, which is 500 to 1,500 words, basically answering 3 basic questions, which are: how did you become interested in the field of public health? What contributions do you hope to make in the field of public health? And how specifically will the MPH at GW help you achieve these career goals? In addition to the statement of purpose, we require a resume, an academic resume. We require transcripts from all institutions you've attended. And if you have attended institutions that are outside of the United States, we do require an evaluation that is done by World Education Service. They are a company that basically evaluate foreign transcripts and translate them to the U.S. equivalency of your degree and of your grades. In addition, we require 2 letters of recommendation. And we also require official GRE scores that would have to come directly from ETS in order to be considered official and valid. And like I said, if you do hold an advanced degree, such as a master's degree or a doctorate, or some kind of advanced degree, your GRE requirement would actually be waived. As far as financial aid options for our program, we do accept the federal financial aid. We do encourage students, if they are going to be applying for financial aid, to start the application process when they begin the application process for our program, as it does take a little bit of time for the federal financial aid to process that paperwork. So we do go through FAFSA. It is fafsa.org. That you would go through, and that FAFSA code that you would want to put in when you're applying for it would be 001444. In addition to financial aid, some other funding options that we have are merit-based and professionally based scholarships. This is based strictly on applicant information, and it is on a case-by-case basis. So based on your GPA, your GRE scores, and other factors such as professional work experience, once you do apply to the program, you are automatically considered for scholarships if you meet those requirements. Some other options that you might have for funding would be public service loan forgiveness, the National Health Service Corps, HRSA, private loans, as well as other types of government funding. Some application deadlines that we have coming up currently for our cohorts that are beginning in the new year. For January, our priority deadline, which would be for scholarship consideration, is actually wrong on this slide. It is actually October 4th. And that is for scholarship consideration for our program. The final deadline for applications for the January start date would be November 11th, and then the classes will begin on January 6th. For our March start date, the application deadline for scholarship consideration, this is also wrong. The deadline for that would be December 1st, and then the final application deadline for March is January 27th for classes beginning on March 24th. And like Brian and I mentioned before, if you are interested in beginning an application, we highly encourage you to go onto our website, and we do have a live chat option. You can also call an admissions counselor over here at the program, and they can help you with putting together an application for the program. So now we're going to open it up to Q&A, questions and answers. So if you have questions for us, we would love to hear them and answer them. Go ahead and type them in the questions box, and we'll answer them to the best of our abilities.
I guess typically we do get some questions. Just I guess propose some questions that we have out there. We do get some questions about the live face-to-face interaction and the class times. All of our class times, since we've really built this program out to attract the working professional, someone who is looking to continue to work full-time and also pursue this degree, the majority of the class times are going to fall between the later afternoon and evening. So 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to around 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we'll also have sections available on the weekends. So we definitely feel confident in the ability for individuals to, again, continue to work full-time and also pursue this degree. I'll wait and see if we have some more questions here.
Another question that we do get a fair amount is about how much the program costs. The cost of the program is $1,298 per credit. It is actually the same cost as the on-campus program, and with the total cost of the program being 45 credits, it's about $58,000 in total. And like I mentioned before, with some of the financial aid options that you have, students are usually able to fund the program by those sources.
Some other questions that we do often get is, can a student go or continue the program part-time? So, like we mentioned earlier, students are able to complete the program in 2 years, but they can extend the program up to 4 years. So if they want to choose to take, instead of taking a 6 credit minimum for more so of a full-time track, they can certainly drop down to less than 6 credits, which would maybe break out to 1 or 2 classes per term. So those students do have the option to flex between full-time and part-time status within this program. But the only thing really to be conscious of with that is you definitely want to make sure, if you're planning to fund the program for financial aid, you want to make sure that you're taking the minimum amount of credits required to maintain your eligibility for financial aid.
How can we? The question we have a question here from Yosef asking how you can facilitate the environmental learning without the essential materials. I assume what you mean, Yosef, is how do we teach the program without the essential materials being that live in-person experience that you get? Well, through the virtual classroom, you are still able to gain the same amount of knowledge, the same amount of experience that you would in an on-campus program. The face-to-face interaction with your classmates and with your professors is essential in our program, and it's something that it definitely sets us apart from other online programs, in that you can be anywhere in the U.S. or anywhere in the world and attend these classes. So you do still get that face-to-face interaction. We are still able, through our virtual classroom, to be able to share different files with people. The professors are able to give out handouts through file sharing. You're able to share different things. So, and there are a lot of different tools that you can use within that virtual classroom to be able to facilitate the materials that you would need in a classroom environment. So hopefully that answers. Okay, I'm going to answer in type 4. I have no idea.
So unfortunately, I don't think we're able to type in the form. But again, like Allison said, if you have additional questions, or if you would like more information about the program, about the live face-to-face interaction that you receive in the classroom, reach out to us. Contact an admissions counselor. Feel free to browse the website and request more information about the program, and then one of our admissions counselors will reach out to you and answer any questions that you have about the program as well as the admissions process.
And again, our website is publichealthonline.gwu.edu. And you can get a lot more information on our website. And then the School of Public Health and Health Services, the phone number is also on there. So if you wanted to get more information about the School of Public Health and Health Services and about about our accreditation and about the school in general, you can also find that information online. Do we have any other questions from the audience at all? All right, well, thank you very much for joining us in this information session, and we really hope that you gained some valuable information about our program. And like I said, if you're interested in starting to work on the application process, definitely feel free to reach out to us. We are always more than happy to help you out. So have a good rest of your evening. Bye.